All right, so I just finished watching the last episode of Mr. Robot, and once again, this show is just, it's crazy. I mean, there's really no other words to describe it. It is insane. It will mess your mind up. That being said, going to give a short little review of it. I've obviously got to start at the very end when we get the big reveal that I believe this entire season, nothing that we saw actually happened. He was actually in prison, and everything he saw was like a version of what was happening to him in prison. But he was seeing it in the real world, even though he was in prison. I don't know. It was crazy. Um, so normally when things like that happen, I don't like them. In the first season, when they revealed all the stuff that was going on in his head, I didn't really like it. But this one I'm okay with because I think they're going to do something really interesting with it, and I think that they explained it well enough that I'm okay with it. And everything else that's happening is really interesting. So this just didn't bother me as much as some of the other times when they've done some. Oh, you thought we showed you this one thing, but it's actually not what we showed you. We lied to you, haha. And they even kind of acknowledged that at the end. He says, I'm sorry I lied to you. I promise, I won't lie to you again. So that was kind of interesting, kind of meta. Yeah. So, but then I wonder if some of my favorite parts even happened because him playing chess with the guy and the guy admitting that he, telling a story about his wife. Did that not happen? Because I thought that was really cool when that happened in the beginning of this episode. So now I'm like sitting here scratching my head, wondering if some of the things that I thought were the best parts of this season so far weren't even part of the season because they didn't happen. So this show once again is just a crazy roller coaster of mind fucks, and you just never know what's gonna happen. And yeah, and Angela's story is pretty interesting. So that's what's another good thing about this show is the characters aren't not black and white. There's no evil people and good people and they battle it out. And Angela is a really interesting case where you think she's like completely bought into this whole corporate structure and giving up on her dad. And you see her arguing with her dad about the money. But then you see that she actually does want to change departments so she can make a difference. So it's really, really strange. Maybe she kind of just thinks, hey, if you can't beat them, join them, and maybe from the inside you can make things better. I don't know. It's not a crazy idea, but anyways, it'll be interesting to see where that story goes and how she evolves as a character and what's going on there. And finally, we get some resolution to that little cliffhanger we got at the end of last episode when we see the FBI lady, I can't remember her name, start to question her. And I thought it was really cool how Angela, like she did a really good job. The actress did a really great job of being like panicked, but still kind of like, I know I can handle this. I got this. Don't worry. And she pretends like she's on a phone call, and then she just kind of, lies her way out of it. And I don't know. I thought that was really cool. That was one of the other really good parts of this episode was seeing Angela do all her trickery to get what she wants. But yeah, so one other crazy part we have to talk about is Elliot getting beat up by those four guys or whatever they were, and then his friend coming up and stabbing them all. So we're led to believe that actually happened, but it just happened like somewhere in the prison. Oh, I don't know. I like this show. I like. I really like the last three episodes, especially. But when they do stuff like this, it kind of throws me for a loop, and I guess that's kind of the point. But at the same time, I'm just starting to kind of figure out what's going on, and then they just turn everything upside down, and now I have no idea what's going on. And I thought Mr. Robot was starting to become part of Elliot, and they were going to start, kicking ass and taking names, but apparently he's in prison, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, and the part of this episode, and I guess overall, just season that I don't really care for is the lady whose boyfriend Elliot apparently killed, her husband Elliot killed. can't even think of his name right now. But the weird, creepy guy used to beat up homeless people. Like his wife and whatever she's doing with her boyfriend, I could care less. I really like. Do y'all find that interesting? I don't find it interesting at all. I want Elliot to hack E Corp and start a revolution. I don't care, what dude she met at the E Corp ball, last September or whatever it was. So, anyways, yeah, it's just one little criticism of the show overall. Still a really solid episode. But yeah, anyways, that's all I got. Let me know what y'all thought. I'm curious to see, because this was kind of a mix of the kind of different styles that we see of this show. We got sort of the trippy, mind fucking type episode there at the end when they revealed the big reveal that he's actually in prison. But then we also got some cool hacking and just plot development and things like that. So I'm curious as to what you thought of the episode. Did like it, hate it, somewhere in between, kind of like me. I thought it was a solid episode, not my favorite by far, but still better than a lot of them. Yeah, so anyways, thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe.